All right, let's just jump right in. AI and automation, they're literally changing everything about how we live and work. And that's forcing us, all of us, to face a really huge question. If our jobs aren't the center of our lives anymore, well, where do we find our purpose?
No, seriously, I want you to think about that for a second. What if your job just disappeared tomorrow? For so many of us, our job is way more than just a paycheck, right? It's a massive part of our identity. So, what happens when that's suddenly gone? This isn't just some sci fi question anymore. It's a reality that a lot of people are starting to face right now.
And, this new reality, it's leading to something sociologists are calling a crisis of purpose. Because when a job disappears, it's not just about losing the work. You lose the role that made you feel needed. You lose the structure of your days. You can even lose your very sense of who you are. And look, the research on this is absolutely crystal clear. Losing a job against your will doesn't just hit your bank account. It takes a huge psychological toll. I mean, it can strip away your identity, your routine, your social life, and really damage your mental well-being. It's a loss that goes so much deeper than just income.
Okay, so let's really get into this because this is the absolute core of what we're talking about today. For a long, long time, most of us have had what you could call a given purpose. It comes from our job, right? It's external. We're kind of just passive recipients. But the future? The future is all about shifting to a created purpose. And this is totally different. It's internal, it's active, and it depends completely on you, on your own agency. So the big question is, how do we actually build this created purpose? Well, the good news is it's not just some feel-good, wishful thinking. It's actually grounded in some really solid psychology about what makes us humans tick, what makes us thrive. So let's break down the building blocks. So, at the very heart of all this is a really cool idea from psychology called self-determination theory. And it basically says that all humans have three core needs. First, there's autonomy. That's the need to feel like you're in the driver's seat of your own life. Then you've got competence, that awesome feeling you get when you master a skill. And finally, relatedness, our fundamental need to connect with other people. And here's the kicker. None of these, not a single one, actually depends on having a 9-to-5 job. And this powerful idea it's captured so perfectly by Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the Holocaust. He said that those who have a why to live can bear almost any how. Think about that. He saw firsthand that having a why, a sense of meaning, is what gives people the strength to get through literally anything. His work proves that meaning isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you create, even when things are at their absolute worst. Okay, so we've got the why, the psychological building blocks. Now let's get super practical. Let's talk about the how. We're going to walk through 5 clear, actionable pathways you can follow to start actively building a purposeful life, whether you have a traditional job or not. So, here they are: autonomy and self-direction, mastery and lifelong learning, creativity and self-expression, contribution to others, and personal development. Each of these is a concrete way to build meaning, and they tie directly back to those core human needs we just covered. You can think of this as a roadmap. So let's dive into the first one, autonomy. Pathway number 1, autonomy. This is all about taking back the steering wheel. Instead of a boss dictating your schedule, you get to design your days. You set the goals. Maybe that's writing a book, maybe it's learning to restore an old car. The point is, you get to define what success looks like, and you can align your time with what actually matters to you. All right, pathway number 2 is mastery. We all have this deep, deep need to get better at things, to feel competent. That's what mastery is all about. It's picking a skill, any skill that you care about, and just dedicating yourself to improving. And it's the journey itself, that feeling of making progress and overcoming hurdles, that's what builds a really powerful sense of self-worth. And here's a perfect example of this in action. There are these amazing programs in West Virginia that retrained coal miners who lost their jobs, retrained them to become computer programmers. And as this quote from Billy Jack Buzzard shows, it was about so much more than a new paycheck. By mastering this totally new, really complex skill, they found this incredible, renewed sense of pride and purpose. It's a total reinvention. Next up, pathway number 3, creativity. And I want to be clear, this is not just about being Picasso. Creativity is simply about bringing something new into the world, no matter how big or small. It could be cooking an amazing meal, writing a blog post, or designing a garden for your neighborhood. Any act of creation is a powerful way to express yourself, and it can get you into that amazing state of flow where you're just completely lost in what you're doing.
Okay, this next one is a huge one: contribution. At our core, we're social animals. We have this fundamental need to feel useful, to feel like we're part of something bigger than just ourselves. And serving others, helping out in your community, this is hands down one of the most reliable, most universal ways to find real meaning in your life.
And the great thing is, contribution can look like so many different things. You could volunteer for a cause you believe in, you could mentor someone, you could join a community project like the Men's Sheds movement, where people get together to build things. Heck, even simple daily acts of kindness go a long way. They all reinforce our sense of value and connection.
And finally, our fifth pathway is personal growth. This is about being intentional, using your time to invest in you. That could mean physically by training for a 5K, or mentally by taking an online course, or spiritually by learning to meditate. Any of these things give you a clear sense of direction and a real feeling of accomplishment. It's proof that you're moving forward, that you're growing.
So let's start to pull all this together. When you look at it this way, the message becomes pretty clear, doesn't it? This massive disruption from automation, it doesn't have to be just a threat. It's also a massive opportunity, a chance to completely redefine what a meaningful life can even look like. So what are the key takeaways here? Well, first, purpose isn't some magical thing you find. It's something you build, brick by brick. Second, it's about diversifying your identity, so it's not all tied up in one job title. And most importantly, remember that your own agency, your power to act, is the absolute best antidote to feeling helpless. When you chase autonomy, when you master new skills, when you connect with people, you are the one taking control of your own meaning. Look, the world of work is changing. That's a fact. There's no going back. But this massive shift, it also has the potential to free up human creativity and passion on a scale we've never seen before. So the final question we should be asking isn't what are we going to lose? The real question, the much more exciting question is, what will you create?